first reaction to the selection of this new pope and the fact that he's an American?
Oh, it's such a remarkable moment. It's very exciting to have the first American born pope elected. It's an amazing moment.
Symbolically, what does it mean? I know there was a lot of conversation before his selection that perhaps an American wouldn't be chosen because it would give too much power to an already dominant force when it comes to economics, culturally, politically. The dominance of America is already pretty overwhelming. What do you make of the decision to still choose an American?
I think it really speaks to the universal nature of the church, of how global the church is. Although Pope Leo XIV was born in America and educated here, he spent much of his ministry and his career abroad, serving people globally, especially in Peru. So I think that it's a historically significant moment for many reasons. But obviously, him being American is important, and it's a wonderful um, source of pride, I think, for all American Catholics. But I think his heart and his ministry has been one that has reached globally.
And based on the knowledge you have of his work and what he's done as a cardinal, do you believe he'll follow in the direction of a Pope Francis, or will he carve out his own lane?
I think it'll be a little bit of both. I think he definitely, in his opening remarks today, we saw a great deal of remarks about Pope Francis and the ministry of Pope Francis. I think that he will lean into many of the same things that Pope Francis did in terms of accompaniment and synodality, but I also believe he'll carve his own path. He's known as somebody who led with humility behind this. He did a lot of work behind the scenes, and so I think that he will have his definite own style of leadership that he'll bring to this papacy.
Much was made of how quickly this decision came out. It was faster than the naming of Pope Francis, the last election that we had. What do you read into that, or can anything be read into that?
I don't think that much can be read into it, honestly. The Cardinals have been together now for several days leading up to this conclave, so I think they had the opportunity to talk to one another, to get to know one another, and I think that they went into the conclave, um, with some thinking and thoughts about who the next pope would be, but were really guided by the Holy Spirit, as they say, and went into it, and they just knew. So I don't know that it's necessarily anything that we can read into it happening so quickly, but I do think that we know the Cardinals have had a lot of time to get to know one another and talk with one another leading up to the conclave.
So, day one as Pope, what does that day look like? What's next for him?
I think what is next is for him to sort of get his bearings a little bit. He's obviously spent time in Rome as the head of the dicastery for bishops, so he's not unfamiliar with Rome and Vatican City itself. But I think there'll just be a lot of administrative type of things that he will need to do to just figure out what's next for him in picking a staff and making some appointments to key positions. I think will be things that we see happen in the upcoming days.
Anything else you'd like to add about today's big news, Jenny?
No, I just think it's an exciting moment for not only Catholics in America, but Catholics everywhere and non-Catholics as well. It's a really historical moment for the world. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Absolutely. Jenny Kraska, thank you so much.